Welcome back. Now, Elizabeth Blackwell was the first woman in the world to receive a degree in medicine. Now, she is a true heroine and pioneer, but remains relatively unknown.
And that is why one author has written a book so others can appreciate her and the major contributions she made to society. Robert Nordmeyer joins us to discuss his latest book, The Other Side of Courage, the Saga of Elizabeth Blackwell. Robert, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, we were saying on commercial break that we had never actually heard of Elizabeth, and that is why I am so glad that you're here and that you've written this amazing book. But I am very curious, what was it that made you want to write this book?
Well, when I found out about Elizabeth, I was surprised that nobody knew her, because I went around, I asked people, do you know Elizabeth Blackwell? No. Even asked my doctors, do you know Elizabeth Blackwell? No. So I thought, there's a story here. People have got to know this woman because she's so fantastic. Her life has been such an amazing up and down roller coaster that when she did achieve the degree in medicine, it was so magnificent that she couldn't contain herself, but nobody else got excited. So it was like, am I doing this right? I mean, is this good? Well, she found out that it was. It was the right thing to do. She had doubts all the way along, and that's because the doctors, the medical profession, they kind of held her back. They refused to let her go to any medical schools. And so it was a rough road for her, and she had doubts all the way along the way. And yet she achieved this amazing thing and went on to do even more amazing things. So I said, this woman's got to be exposed to all the people out there. And I sat down and wrote the book.
And I'm sure a lot of us can see a little part of ourselves in her journey.
Yes.
And so how was it that you became acquainted with her? How did you learn that she was around and her story?
Amazing. We had this page-a-day calendar, and on it, it has all the little features like word for the day, and one of the features was on this day in history. So it was January 11th, 2010, and I'm reading it, and it says, Elizabeth Blackwell, the first woman to earn a degree in medicine, and went on to establish a hospital for the indigent women and children. And I thought, boy, this is fantastic. Well, the date was January 11th, and it said on this date she received her degree in medicine. Actually, it was January 23rd. So the calendar was a little off, but the message was there. And I said, this is a story. I really want to learn who this woman is. And as I got into her life and started doing my research, it was amazing what she went through to get that degree in medicine and what she did afterwards, too.
So then that was just one of the highlights from her life that you discovered. So what were maybe a couple more?
Well, one thing is that she started the hospital in 1857. Now, this is many years afterwards, but in 1857, she opened this hospital for indigent women and children in the lower part, the slum part of New York City. And then she added on to that, she got credentials established to add a school for medicine for just women. And she then set up a 4-year curriculum. The first school, because the other school was 2 years, she set up 4 years. She then had the women trained, which she did not have the opportunity to in her own hospital. So she had this tight-knit network going for women. And when she died, when Elizabeth died in 1910, 7,400 women were then doctors. So from the day that she got her degree to the day that she died, 7,400 women became doctors because of her.
Wow. So she really got to see her impact on society, on women, on the medical profession.
Right.
And Robert, I'm going to tell everybody where they can get the book here in just a moment, but I want to thank you for seeing that off chance, seeing that on your calendar, looking deeper into it, and bringing the knowledge out for all of us women and for everyone to enjoy. So I want to thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Now, you can get the book from most bookstores, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and the publisher, Bygone Era Books. For more details, you can visit blackwellsaga.blogspot.com.